The diplomatic shuttle descended onto station terminus with all the grace of a falling brick. Alex wiped grease from his hands, squinting at the ornate vessel through the hangar's atmospheric shield. Dragons. Of course it had to be dragons on the day his hydraulic lift decided to die. Emperor Zarkathos the Burnished had sent an emissary. The station commander had announced with barely concealed panic. The Draconis Imperium controlled 12 star systems and had reduced 3 civilizations to ash for perceived slights. Humanity, still new to the galactic stage, couldn't afford to offend them. Alex returned to the guts of a mining hauler, muttering about politicians and their problems. He was elbow-deep in a plasma conduit when he heard the whispers. "Did you see her?" The Emperor's daughter. "The one he sent. Poor creature. Even for a dragon, she's—" Alex glanced up. A crowd had gathered near the diplomatic bay, their faces mixtures of pity and poorly concealed disgust. Station personnel parted reluctantly, and through the gap Alex saw her. Elsa moved with her head low, her movements careful, apologetic. Where other Draconis stood proud on their hind legs, she walked on all fours, her wings tucked tight against scaled sides. Her hide wasn't the burnished gold or deep crimson of her species' elite. Instead, she bore mottled browns and grays, colors the dragons associated with labor castes and disgrace. But Alex saw something else. He saw the way her scales caught the light, each one a different shade, creating patterns like riverstones or aged leather. He saw the elegant curve of her neck, the intelligent gleam in eyes that seemed to take in everything while expecting nothing. She was beautiful. The human ambassador's face had gone white. The Emperor sends his daughter? Surely there's been a mistake. The dragon delegation's leader, resplendent in crimson and gold, showed his fangs in what might have been a smile. "No mistake, Ambassador Chen. The Emperor Zarkathos, in his infinite wisdom, believes this arrangement suitable. Princess Elsa Therix will serve as our permanent liaison to your station." The word liaison dripped with mockery. This wasn't diplomacy. This was an insult wrapped in protocol. The Emperor literally sending his ugly daughter to the humans because they weren't worth a real ambassador. The message was clear. You matter so little, even my disappointment is too good for you. Ambassador Chen scrambled to salvage the situation. "We are honored, truly. We've prepared quarters in the diplomatic sector." "That won't be necessary," Alex heard himself say. Every head turned. Alex set down his plasma torch and walked forward, his jumpsuit still stained with synthetic oil. "I've got space in the mechanics' quarters, if the princess doesn't mind the smell of coolant." The silence was deafening. Ambassador Chen looked ready to have a stroke. The Crimson Dragon's eyes narrowed dangerously. But Elsa raised her head, and for the first time her wings opened slightly. "You would offer me shelter, human?" "Name's Alex, and yeah, I would. If you're going to be stuck on this station, might as well be somewhere you can actually fit. Those diplomatic quarters have ceilings built for bipeds." He'd noticed what no one else had. Elsa was built for quadrupedal movement, broader and longer than her species' typical form. The diplomatic sector would have been a cage. Something shifted in Elsa's eyes. "I accept, Mechanic Alex," the Crimson Dragon hissed. "The Emperor will hear of this insult." "The Emperor sent his daughter to live among humans," Alex interrupted, meeting the dragon's gaze. "I'm just making sure she's comfortable." "That's not an insult. That's hospitality." 3 months later, Alex's workspace had transformed. Elsa had a gift for engineering that put most of the station's technicians to shame. Her claws, which the dragon elite considered too blunt for warfare, were perfect for precision work. Her earth-toned scales, which made her ugly by Draconis standards, allowed her to work in the superheated engine cores where other dragons feared to go. "Hand me the quantum spanner," Elsa said, her head buried in a ship's reactor housing. Alex passed it over, grinning. "You know, the station commander tried to reassign you last week. Said you were wasted as a mechanic." Elsa emerged, a satisfied rumble in her chest. "And you said?" "I told him you were exactly where you belonged." "With me." The words hung between them. Over the weeks, late-night repairs had turned into conversations. Conversations had turned into friendship. Friendship had turned into something neither of them had expected. Elsa's tail curled slightly, a gesture Alex had learned meant contentment. "My father sent me here as a joke. He thought humanity was beneath the Imperium, and I was beneath my sisters. He never expected that I'd see you for who you actually are. That anyone would. Alex set down his tools and looked at her, really looked at her, at the patterns in her scales that reminded him of Earth's mountains, at the clever eyes that sparkled when she solved a problem, at the gentle soul wrapped in hide and wing. "Your father's an idiot," Alex said. "You're not ugly. You're not a disappointment. You're perfect." Elsa's eyes widened. In dragon culture, such directness was unthinkable. But Alex was human, and humans, she'd learned, said what they meant. "Alex, She paused, switching to the formal Draconist tongue. "You honor me beyond measure." "No," Alex said, stepping closer. "You honor me just by being here." Her wing extended, gently brushing against him, the dragon equivalent of an embrace. The message reached Emperor Jarkathos 6 months later. His ugly daughter, the one he'd sent as an insult, had become Station Terminus's chief engineer. The humans had promoted her, celebrated her. More importantly, she'd done something unprecedented. She'd made humanity understand dragon engineering and dragons understand human innovation. Trade agreements followed. Technology exchanges. The station that was supposed to receive an insult became the Imperium's gateway to human space. And in a workshop smelling of coolant and ozone, a mechanic and a dragon worked side by side, building something neither empire had expected. A future where what mattered wasn't the color of your scales or the shape of your body, but the strength of your character and the depth of your heart. Elsa had been sent as a joke, but she'd become the bridge between worlds, and Alex had found exactly what he'd always wanted, even if he'd never known to look for it. Someone who saw the beauty in imperfection, who found joy in honest work, and who understood that sometimes the greatest treasures come in unexpected forms. The Emperor had sent his ugly daughter. The mechanic had found his perfect match.